Good morning, everyone. It's Janet Wakeland here with Remarkably Created. And in today's video, I'm going to show you a really simple, fun fold to just kind of mix up your card making. So let's look at 3 samples created with this fold, and then we'll make one complete card together. So here we have the Feel Better Soon. These dies that you're going to see with the greetings are from the Wanted to Say die set. And we've got our latte paper, some cute little coffee cups, but you're just going to pull it up and then you're going to open it. So just kind of making the card a little more interactive and kind of just prolonging the getting to the inside message. So just some fun for you. This is from our flowering zinnias. You're too kind. Look at that fun sparkle paper, some additional flowers, and again that same concept of having that greeting. And then this is a sneak peek of our new plain set, and I don't have the name committed to memory, but look how fun that is. So we're always looking for ideas for the men in our lives, or maybe you've got a plain enthusiast. One thing I want to point out is that while there are dies that might have clouds in them, sometimes punches are quick and easy. And our punch, cloud punch, is retiring. So if that's something that you don't have in your stamp collection, your paper crafting collection, your punch collection, then that cloud punch is something that you might want to scoop up. So I'm going to just set these off to the side for just a second, and we'll bring them back in just a minute. So let's bring in the supplies that we're going to use for the one that we're going to create together, and I'll go over them with you here in a second. Let's just get it all unpacked here. So we're going to be using some new sneak peek products, and for this fold you're going to start with 2 full sheets of 8.5 by 11 cardstock. You're going to be able to make 2 cards when it's all said and done, but you're going to start with 2 sheets of cardstock. You're going to want some type of designer paper or contrasting cardstock. Here, because there's so many layers, I chose not to use cardstock. I chose to use designer paper, but everything that you see where designer paper is could also just be coordinating cardstock, okay? I have some die cut elements that you're gonna see us use on this project and a little label. So we'll set those off, and I'll keep my paper handy because we're going to need it. We're going to be working, this paper here has some of the new 2024-26 in colors. So you're going to have your Summer Splash and your Petunia Pop, and then it's paired with a little bit of Flirty Flamingo and Basic White. So because of that, we're going to pull in our Petunia Pop ribbon, and we're going to pull in some of our different. These ones are actually new embellishments that are in the In Colors Petunia Pop. These are ones that were just released online a month or 2 ago. And these ones right here from these sequins, I think they're called shiny sequins, are perfect to pair together. They're going to bring out those colors really, really well. So these are a nice addition. Here, this one here is really, really beautiful with the peach pie coming. So these shiny sequins are going to be great. And since we only use dies, I'm going to show you the dies that I use, but also their coordinating stamp set. So this is Flowers of Beauty. And here you can see these long strips of flowers. That's what gave me all these little flowers. This beautiful bouquet here that we did in white to mimic the paper. So you've got this size, and here is the stamp set that goes with it. You're going to notice that there is no greetings. This bundle as well as this bundle are part of a suite. Look at all these greetings, guys. And then look at all of these labels that the greetings fit onto. And you've just got some beautiful greetings that you can use both for the inside of your cards and the outside of your cards. So I jokingly some call these innie outies because you can use them both ways, whether you use them together or you mix and match these with other greetings in the Stampin' Up! Lineup. So those are the products that we're working with. So let's start cutting our paper. So with your first sheet of 8.5 by 11, you're going to cut it with the 11-inch side going across. You're going to cut it down to 5.5. I didn't need that long piece out, but 5.5, okay, because that's half of 11 inches. So you're going to give it that cut. So you've got two pieces. So here's your two card bases. You're going to turn your card around on the 8.5 side, put it down at 4.25, and score it. If you're just starting with paper crafting, a trimming tool is going to really help you with good measurements, good scoring, and things like that. If you do not have a trimming tool and you want to recreate this, simply using a ruler to make your cuts, cutting with scissors or a hobby blade would work, but you're going to find a lot more enjoyment in your paper crafting with a trimmer tool. And Stampin' Ups does do both 12 by 12, and it also cuts and scores. It has both blades in it at the same time. So we've had that score. We're just going to flatten that crease down so that the card lays nice. And let me bring this back in here for one more second. So then our next cut, that's what I needed the arm for. And the other thing about Stampin' Up's trimmer, you'll see the 17-inch line way out here. You can also cut a 12 by 12 piece of paper on a diagonal. So if you're into scrapbooking, you're going to like that feature as well. So we're going to cut 10 inches. So we're just going to cut a little strip off the end. You want to save this strip. It'll be great for greetings or some other type of project later. We're going to flip this around and we're going to cut it at 3 inches. So what we have is 10 inches by 3 inches. While you have your trimmer out, you can actually just go ahead and cut a second piece. Like I said, you'll end up with 2 cards. So you'll have the supplies for 2 cards. And then you've got 2 nice pieces of basic white scrap that never ever go to waste. In this case, I would have used them to cut my flower dies that I'm going to use. So now while I have the trimmer out, I want to cut a piece of paper that becomes this background piece and a piece of paper that becomes this piece here for the flap. So let me give you the measurements for that while I have this out. And so we're going to cut at 4 inches by 5.25. So 4 inches by 5.25. That's the front piece. But before we do any other cutting, we're going to take our piece and lay the points in that cutting track. Again, if you don't have a trimmer, then you're just going to lay your ruler from corner to corner and make a mark so that you can cut from corner to corner. But I'm going to lay my points in that cutting track. And what's nice is I have an opening through here so I can visualize it just to make sure it didn't shift in any way. And what you have are 2 triangles, okay? So 4 inches by 5.25, lay it in your track, cut from point to point, from end to end. Now for this piece, you want a contrasting piece of paper. You could also get creative and just do same on same. Kind of makes it all kind of blend in together and is also a cool effect. So you just need another piece of designer paper or cardstock, whether it's the same or contrasting. And in this case, I really like the background of this paper. Really makes the petunia pot flowers pop. I had to get that in there. And so in this case, I'm going to go to 4 3/4. That's a nice chunk of scraps too. You'll be able to do some fun stuff with that. And 2 3/4. And that's going to give me that piece to layer on to this one. Okay. So now let's get to work putting it all together. It's actually quick and simple once you get all of your pieces cut, and I forgot to score this, so pretend like I scored that in the trimmer. Scoring it with the score first really just does help give you a cleaner, nicer crease without all the little wrinklies up here, but you can't see my my boo-boos on camera that well. So we're gonna just pretend like that is exactly what I just did. Okay, so let's bring in all of our pieces. So we have this happening right here. We have one more cut yet to make, because remember, we cut our designer paper down on an angle. So we're going to bring that trimmer back in one more time. And we're going to lay the front of the card, okay? The front of the card. What would be your front? We're going to do that track thing again by laying the point where that fold is. And that's why I got a good crease on that fold first, because I really want to be able to see where it's at. And we're just going to cut point to point. And again, you've got another piece that you'll be able to use for some other fun projects. So then the next step is to go ahead and add your paper. And you want to make sure that you get down into those points. So if you need to use a glue dot, or if you need to use some liquid glue, you do want to get down into that point. And I'm just going to make sure that my borders here are the same, left and bottom. Make sure we get the paper. You want to, like I said, get down into that corner, that point. So this is our base so far. Now, if you haven't gotten all the way down into your point and your point is popping up on you, then you can simply just take a glue dot and roll it just a little bit, lift that point up, and sneak that glue dot in there to really solidify that point down on your card. Or sneak just a tiny little dab of liquid glue. So then we have this piece here. And let's grab the one, and I wanted the other side. We're going to put that on, making sure that the borders are equal the whole way around. We'll put adhesive all over the back of this. And we're going to come in. And I just measure it so it's kind of eyeball it so it's got the same top and bottom and side to side. You lift this flap up and then this piece comes down. So now let's go ahead and let's decorate our little project. So let me get rid of the little pieces from the die cut. I have to say that these are some of my favorite dies, not this one in particular, but this style. I love leaf plant flower kind of foliage elements like this. So if a die set has it, it's usually coming home to me. It's one of the things that people are like, well, I think I have one just like that. But they're always just different enough that it has to come home with me. It has to, get ordered, and UPS has to bring me a happy box, because there are just so many uses for them, for just adding that little bit of extra depth. And whether you color them or you leave them plain, I adore them. So let's liquid glue. Just need a tiny little bit of liquid glue, and we're just gonna dab that, and not too much because you don't want it really squishing out too far everywhere. So I'm just dabbing on liquid glue. I'm not coating the entire thing. You could absolutely do that. One of my favorite ways to do some of the thinner ones is to put a little glue out here and then use a dauber to pick it up and paint the glue on nice and thin. So if you've got something really fragile, you might want to do that. So, and then I'm going to take, this would normally have a greeting on it, and we will finalize it with a greeting later, but I wanted you to see it without the greeting for a reason that I'm going to tell you about here in just a moment. And I am going to put this label on before I put my flowers, so that now I know what empty space I have for those flowers. So now let's just get our glue dots, and we're gonna just grab a couple of these little flowers. And if you've got a bunch of flowers laying around and you tend to always, like you're losing all your little bits, grab a set of glue dots and just stick them on there as you die cut them, and you won't lose them. You won't go wondering where they got stuck to. Because a lot of times they'll, stick to the back of a card, or they'll be someplace you kind of weren't expecting it to be. do I have room for one more? Yeah, we can kind of tuck it coming out of the grouping here. And let's just stick one towards the middle. And then the last thing that we want to do is we want to add some of those beautiful embellishments. So let's grab those. But look how pretty those shiny sequins go. They really do work with this color really, really well. I'm not sure off the top of my head. I didn't check the catalog before bringing these in for their official name of the color that is in this pack. I want a little guide. Let's put that back on before gladly I hadn't stuck it down yet. So just like that, you've got another beautiful one ready to go. Now the reason why I didn't stick the greeting down is because today I'm doing something a little different that I've never done in my videos before. But what I have done is I have created card packs of these 4 projects. Okay, so I have card packs ready to go. And what I mean by a card pack is you'll get 2 full sheets of 8.5 by 11. You'll get the basic white paper. You'll get designer paper that is cut into 4 by 6 pieces so that you'll definitely have some fun pieces left over. You'll get all of the die cuts. And if there's ribbon used or embellishments used, you'll get a little sampling of those to use on your projects as well. So the reason this doesn't have a greeting is because this one you would add any greeting of your own using basic black or embossing in white. So each one of the card packs are $5. US offer only. So if one of the 4 card packs speak to you and that's something you would like to ship, I will be mailing them on Friday, and then while supplies last, I'll keep mailing them, but we will begin mailing them, no, today's Tuesday, Thursday, okay? So whatever day is not tomorrow, but the next day, we will begin mailing those. So definitely sometimes you just lose track of time and days. So the day after today, they will go out in the mail. And again, those packs are $5. That's tax, that's shipping. That's the 2 full sheets of cardstock. That's the envelope. And that's the 2 pieces of 4 by 6 designer paper and any of the die cuts and punch shapes that are used them. And then you'll also get a PDF tutorial specific to your project so that you know how to assemble them. Simply message me via Facebook or email me, janet@remarkablycreated.com. Plain, coffee, flowers, petunia, okay, or kind and flowers, whichever one. We'll figure it out. Zinnias and flowers. But 2 of them are flowers. Yes, it is $5 per card, per packet. If you're going to order more than one, we will adjust the pricing just a little bit because shipping obviously would be a little less to ship 2 together. So that price would adjust just a little bit based on, again, combining the shipping on some of them. So message me via Facebook or email me and have some fun creating this simple and just different fold that I know will make the recipient happy as they're like going, ooh, what's coming, what's coming. So yes, Holly, and we got all the other questions. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome day.